Welcome back to Drivenology. Today, we're diving into something that feels less like a car and more like a statement, a machine that refuses to go quietly into the electric future. This is the 2025 Dodge Challenger, and this is Dark Power Unleashed. You don't just look at this car. You feel it before you even touch it. There's a presence, a kind of silent intimidation, like it knows exactly what it is, and it doesn't care what anything else thinks. In a world shifting toward efficiency and silence, this machine stands as a final roar, a bold, unapologetic symbol of raw muscle. The moment you walk up to it, the exterior hits you like a punch. The wide body stance, aggressive and planted, feels like it's gripping the ground even while standing still. The front fascia is sharp and menacing, with those signature round headlights glowing like eyes in the dark. There's something almost predatory about the way it looks at you. The hood vents are not just for show. They hint at the beast underneath, a heart built for power, heat, and speed. Move around the side, and the lines flow in that classic Challenger way. Long, muscular, unapologetically retro, yet still modern enough to feel relevant in 2025. The sculpted body panels reflect light in a way that emphasizes every curve, every edge. The wide fenders stretch outward like flexed muscles, giving the car an even more dominant road presence. At the rear, it's just as dramatic. The full-width LED taillight bar glows with a deep, sinister red, cutting through the darkness like a blade. The exhaust tips sit ready, almost impatient, waiting for the moment they can erupt. Even standing still, it feels like the car is holding back something violent, something powerful. And then there's the paint. Dark finishes, deep blacks, midnight blues, matte grays, these aren't just colors. They're moods. They transform the Challenger into something cinematic, something that looks like it belongs in a high-speed chase under neon lights or tearing through empty highways at midnight. Step inside, and the atmosphere changes, but the attitude stays. The interior of the 2025 Challenger is a blend of old-school muscle and modern tech, a place where analog emotion meets digital precision. The first thing you notice is the driver-focused cockpit. Everything is angled toward you, like the car is saying, this is your domain. The seats are thick, supportive, and wrapped in premium materials. Whether it's leather or Alcantara, the texture feels purposeful, grippy enough to hold you in place when the car decides to unleash its power. The stitching details, the embossed logos, the subtle accents, they all remind you that this isn't just transportation. It's an experience. The steering wheel feels solid in your hands. Not overly complicated, not cluttered, just the right amount of controls, giving you command without distraction. Behind it, the digital cluster brings the modern touch, customizable and sharp, showing everything from performance stats to navigation, all in crisp detail. At the center, the infotainment system is responsive and intuitive. It's fast, clean, and packed with features. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, performance pages, drive modes, it's all here, seamlessly integrated. But even with all this technology, it never overshadows the essence of the car. It enhances it. There's a balance inside the Challenger. It respects its heritage while embracing the future just enough to stay relevant. You still get that classic muscle car feel. The wide cabin, the low seating position, the sense of being inside something substantial, but now it's paired with modern comfort and convenience. And yes, it's still a practical coupe in its own way. The rear seats are there, usable if needed, and the trunk space is surprisingly generous. It's a reminder that even though this car is about performance and emotion, it hasn't completely forgotten everyday usability. But let's be honest, you're not here for practicality. You're here for what happens when you press that start button. The engine roars to life with a sound that feels alive, like something waking up. It's deep, aggressive, unmistakable. This is where the Challenger separates itself from so many modern cars. It doesn't whisper, it doesn't hum, it announces itself. Under the hood, depending on the variant, you're looking at serious power. From high-output V8 configurations to the legendary supercharged setups, the numbers are insane, but numbers don't tell the full story. It's the way the power is delivered. Immediate, relentless, and emotional. Press the throttle, and the response is instant. The car surges forward with a force that pins you back into your seat. The rear wheels fight for grip, the engine screams, and for a moment, everything else fades away. It's just you, the road, and the sound of pure combustion. Acceleration feels raw, not overly filtered, not overly controlled. There's a sense of connection, a feeling that you're actually driving something mechanical, something powerful. It's not trying to protect you from the experience, it's inviting you into it. The handling, for a car of this size, is surprisingly capable. It's not a lightweight sports car, and it doesn't pretend to be. But with the wide body setup, upgraded suspension, and performance tuning, it holds its own in corners. It feels stable, planted, confident. On straight roads, though, that's where it truly shines. This is where the Challenger becomes what it was always meant to be. A straight-line monster. A car built to dominate highways, to devour distance, to leave everything else behind in a blur of sound and motion. The braking system is equally impressive, giving you the confidence to control all that power. It's strong, responsive, and consistent, even under aggressive driving. Because with great power comes the need for serious stopping ability, and the Challenger delivers. Drive modes allow you to tailor the experience. You can keep it calm, manageable, almost civilized, or you can unleash everything it has, turning it into a completely different beast. It's like having multiple personalities in one machine. And then there's the sound. It's impossible to ignore. The exhaust note is one of the defining features of this car. Deep, thunderous, and addictive. Every acceleration, every downshift, it's a symphony of controlled chaos. But performance isn't just about speed. It's about how the car makes you feel. And the Challenger, especially in this 2025 form, delivers something that's becoming increasingly rare: emotion. It's not just fast, it's exciting. It's not just powerful, it's dramatic. Now, let's talk about pricing. Because a car like this isn't just about passion, it's also about value. The 2025 Challenger lineup comes with a range of options, from more accessible trims to high-performance variants that push into premium territory. The base models start at a price point that still makes this car relatively attainable compared to other performance machines. You're getting serious presence and capability without stepping into supercar pricing. As you move up the range, the price increases, but so does the performance. Higher trims bring more power, more features, more exclusivity. And at the top end, you're looking at something that competes with far more expensive cars in terms of raw performance. What makes it interesting is that the Challenger isn't just about numbers on a spec sheet. It's about character, and that's something that's hard to price. You're not just paying for horsepower, you're paying for an experience, a feeling, a piece of automotive culture. Fuel economy, it's not the focus here. This car isn't trying to be efficient, it's trying to be unforgettable. Maintenance and ownership costs are something to consider, especially with high-performance variants, but for many buyers, that's part of the deal. This isn't a compromise car. It's a choice. And that brings us to the bigger picture. The 2025 Challenger represents something more than just a new model year. It feels like the end of an era. A final chapter in the story of traditional American muscle. As the industry shifts toward electrification, cars like this become rarer, more special, more significant. There's a sense of nostalgia here, but also defiance. The Challenger doesn't apologize for what it is. It doesn't try to fit into the future. It stands its ground, reminding us of what driving used to feel like. And maybe that's why it matters so much. Because in a world of silent acceleration and digital perfection, there's something incredibly powerful about a car that's loud, raw, and imperfect in all the right ways. Something that demands attention, that engages your senses, that makes every drive feel like an event. This isn't just a review. It's a moment, a look at a machine that represents the spirit of muscle cars at a time when that spirit is fading. The 2025 Challenger doesn't just drive, it roars, it shakes, it lives. And when you step out of it, when the engine finally goes silent, there's always that feeling, that urge to get back in, press that button again, and unleash the darkness one more time. Dark power isn't just about speed. It's about presence. It's about emotion. It's about a connection between driver and machine that goes beyond logic. And the Challenger, it understands that perfectly. This is not just a car. This is dark power unleashed. Skull.